Victorian Britain liked to imagine itself as orderly. Crime was never far from view.
Welcome to Literally Victorian with your host, Matthew Lee Hanson.
Hello and welcome to Literally Victorian. My name is Matthew and I'm very glad to be with you once again on this special 3-part series on crime in the Victorian era. But before we start, now I believe is the time to tell you some news. Over the last month or two, I have been compiling all my videos from this channel and formatting them to be included in a Literally Victorian book. A curious guide to the dark corners of Victorian life, which I hope to have ready for release in April this year. More to follow on that soon. Now then, let's continue with crime in the Victorian era. So, respectability, discipline and moral conduct. They were values repeated constantly in public life. Streets were to be respectable, families respectable, behaviour respectable. Yet beneath this ideal lay the realities of rapidly growing cities, crowded neighbourhoods and widening inequality. The early 19th century saw Britain transforming from a largely rural society into an urban one. London expanded quickly, drawing workers from across the country. Streets filled with labourers, merchants, migrants and the poor. Where populations grew dense, opportunity and desperation often followed. For much of history, policing had been informal. Local watchmen patrolled streets at night, often elderly men carrying lanterns and rattles. Parish constables were appointed temporarily to maintain order. The system relied heavily on community responsibility rather than organised authority. But by the early Victorian period, it was clear that this system was no longer sufficient. So in 1829, Home Secretary Robert Peel introduced the Metropolitan Police, creating London's first professional police force. The idea was controversial. Many feared that a uniformed police body resembled the secretive policing of continental Europe and threatened British liberty. Yet the experiment proved effective. The new officers, often called bobbies or peelers, after Peel himself, patrolled the streets on foot, wearing distinctive dark blue uniforms. Their presence was meant to deter crime, rather than simply respond to it. The philosophy was simple. Visible order encouraged orderly behaviour. But unlike soldiers, the new police carried minimal weaponry. Their authority rested largely on presence, discipline and public cooperation. The aim was not to dominate the population, but to maintain stability within it. This marked an important shift in how Victorian society understood crime. Crime was no longer seen purely as individual wrongdoing. It became something to be managed systematically through institutions. Police stations, patrol routes, and investigative procedures slowly developed. The city itself became a space to be organised and monitored. Yet even with this new structure, crime remained a persistent concern. Victorian streets were busy places. Pickpockets operated in crowded markets and railway stations. Thieves targeted homes and shops. Gangs formed in poorer districts, sometimes controlling entire neighbourhoods. For those struggling to survive in the industrial city, the line between legality and desperation could blur. Newspapers played an important role in shaping public perception. Reports of crime appeared regularly, often written in dramatic language that heightened public anxiety. Sensational stories captured attention and circulated widely, feeding the sense that danger lurked within the expanding metropolis. This fascination with crime revealed something deeper about the Victorian mind. The same society that valued order also feared disorder intensely. The industrial city offered prosperity and opportunity, but it also created uncertainty. Crowded streets meant strangers were everywhere. Social mobility blurred traditional hierarchies. Respectability could not always be easily read from appearance. The presence of crime reminded Victorians that beneath the polished surface of civilization lay unpredictability. Policing, therefore, was not merely about arresting criminals. It was about reassuring the public that order still existed. And as London continued to grow into one of the largest cities in the world, maintaining that sense of order became one of the defining challenges of Victorian life. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the notification bell so you'll know when I upload part 2. Until then, bye for now.